Peter Wohlleben worked as a forester in German forest districts for over 20 years, managing forests according to the principles of intensive management. He saw even rows of seedlings, mechanical cuts and monocultures that turned a living forest into a wood factory. Over time, the heart of the forest spoke to him more strongly than the forestry officer's instructions. He abandoned his old path and began to listen to trees in their original form. In the book The Hidden Life of Trees from 2015, he gathered specific observations and research results, showing the forest as a great breathing being full of soul. In natural forests, the oldest trees, the mothers of the forest, form central nodes of power. Their roots reach far, connecting with younger trees through a fungal network called the Wood Wide Web. Suzanne Simard, in experiments from 1997 published in Nature, used carbon isotopes and proved that paper birch transfers as much as 30 to 40% of the sugars produced to Douglas fir seedlings when young trees grow in deep shade. The transfer takes place in both directions. In summer, the birches give off the excess. In winter, the evergreen firs support the birches deprived of leaves. This network is a living artery. Sap, sugars, nitrogen, phosphorus and water flow like blood in the great body of the forest. When caterpillars attack one tree, it releases volatile terpenes and ethylene. Neighboring trees pick up this chemical cry and within a few hours increase the production of tannins and bitter substances, protecting the entire community. Saw cutting triggers a sudden release of ethylene. The tree feels pain and passes it on. Old oaks and beeches growing slowly for hundreds of years build wood with narrow rings, as dense as a warrior's armor. They withstand gales, droughts and pathogens much better than plantation trees, which grow quickly and become fragile. The forest is a superorganism. When an old tree dies, its trunk gives off hundreds of kilograms of carbon, potassium and magnesium. The young generation draws this essence through the mycelium, turning death into new life. Trees, remember. Specimens that survived the drought of the 1970s close their stomata earlier in subsequent periods of drought, saving water with ancient wisdom. Electrical impulses run through the roots, creating underground speech. Wohlleben showed that the forest is not a battlefield, but a community of souls. Every tree has its own character. Fungi like Boletus, Amanita and Rhizopogon create hundreds of connections with a single trunk. This is concrete, measurable forest magic. Slavic Rodnovery lives in the rhythm of nature for thousands of years. The universe is a great world tree, an oak or an ash, whose roots reach Nawia, the world of the dead. The trunk is Jaw, the world of the living, and the crown touches Pravia, the world of the gods. Rod is the primordial soul of creation. The gods are its manifestations. Perun, the thunderer, lives in the crowns of oaks. A lightning bolt hitting an oak meant the descent of Perun to earth, purification and power. The oak of Perun is the axis mundi. Veles, the lord of Nawia, magic and wealth, watches over the roots. Mokosh, the earth mother, spins the threads of fate through the soil and mycelium. The wood wide web is her visible breath, threads connecting the fates of trees, animals, and people. Every old tree bears a soul within it. Leshy manages the entire forest, and the spirits of the ancestors, Dziady, live in the roots and trunks. Before cutting down a tree, the Wochu asked for permission, leaving bread, honey, or blood. Sacred oak groves were forbidden to the axe. The ancestral calendar pulses with nature. Kupala Night in June. The forest wakes up most strongly. The fern opens its flower. People sought this power in the woods, dancing around fires, intertwining their fate with the soul of trees. Dziady, autumn and spring, is the time when Gnaw opens. The dead return through the roots, and offerings left at the trunks feed the soil and mycelium. The Wohlleben staff symbolizes the entire world tree: oak for Perun, birch for Mokosh and Wada, spruce for Veles. The wood wide web is the physical body of the Slavic world tree. Mother trees transferring sugars to the young is an echo of ancestor worship. Elders feed the young, rod flows through generations. Chemical communication about threats is the voice of Leshy. An old tree giving up resources at death is pure cyclicity. Death gives birth to life. Wohlleben describes how old beeches supported sick neighbors. The destruction of sacred trees weakens the entire community. Research has shown that the network is intelligent. Trees recognize kin and support them more strongly. One mother tree connected to dozens of descendants. The oak is Perun's tree, 500 years of power and thunder. The birch, white bark, the tree of Wada and Mokosh, the essence of life. The spruce, roots penetrate Nawia, the underground wisdom of Veles. Every tree has its mycorrhizal partners. This is the soul of the forest, measurable and sacred simultaneously. On Kupala Night, photosynthesis and transfer reach their peak. The fern flower, hidden knowledge. Dziady is the time to feed the soul of the forest. Offerings of bread and honey returned to the soil, strengthening the recycling of matter. This is the understanding that the soul of ancestors lives in the roots. A decaying trunk feeds the new generation. Connection with nature in Rodnovery is a daily practice. Man is part of the world tree. His breath is the wind, his blood is the sap, his thoughts are impulses in the network. Destroying the forest is wounding one's own soul. In times of climate crisis, the natural forest with the wood wide web is the strongest. Połączenie z naturą w Rodnovery to codzienna praktyka. Człowiek jest częścią drzewa świata, jego oddech to wiatr, krew to sok, myśli to impulsy w sieci. Zniszczenie lasu to zranienie własnej duszy. W czasach kryzysu klimatu las naturalny z Wood Wide Web jest najsilniejszy. Ochrona lasów to ochrona własnej duszy. Puszcza Białowieska, bory tucholskie to żyjące drzewa świata. Las szumi, sok płynie, grzybnia łączy. To jest sekretne życie drzew. To jest wiara Słowian. To jest magia lasu, konkretna, mierzalna, pradawna i wiecznie żywa.